I was gonna continue with, you know, my parents, like, I feel like adulting is so ghetto because, like, just all of the different things that you have to take care of, whether it's bills, whether it's, you know, even friendships, family, you gotta take care of this, that, and the other. And I feel like I said before, there's no manual for these things.
No.
And, like, you know, we don't talk about these things enough, so then it becomes this, like, just figuring out on your own.
And we're all doing that.
Yeah.
And it's like, why not? And that's really what started it. I was like, why not talk about it? Because then maybe you learn from my mistakes so that you don't have to do what the hell I did, or I learn from your mistakes, or progress reports. Like, this worked for me. You should try this out. Oh yeah, thank you. Because that's how we learn. Because we're all going through it at the same time. And that's why I was like, let me just create an audio guide for you. It's like you can listen, pop it in when you're driving, and be like, oh, I learned something today.
Yeah.
You know?
Because, you know, like, with adulting, it's just difficult because I feel like we're just not prepared. It's really tough because I feel like if we were to talk about more things, like, that's what I was gonna say. Like, the millennial age, like, the difference between, like, my parents or your parents and, like, older generations or even people from the islands.
Right. Yeah.
You know, they think a certain way, and, like, our generation is starting to, like, break down those walls.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like with that being said, like, we're starting to talk more and, like, discuss the taboo things that
no one wants to talk about.
Yeah, and it's like,
it's beautiful.
They don't, and that's what I want to get into next.
Yeah.
But just jumping into a little bit different, like, women empowerment and, like, talking about things with women, with our bodies, and, you know, like, accepting ourselves as we are. And I mean, like, we don't talk about that.
No.
Like, there's a lot of things that women don't, like, I didn't know certain things about my period. Just from, you know, with my mom not telling me. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that's something you should know.
Right. A lot of, like, I had a different experience. I went to boarding school. So a lot of my maturing and growing was probably during boarding school. So my mom was there. Please don't get that misconstrued.
Yeah.
I went home, like, every month. However, I wouldn't tell my mom every little thing.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, oh, I like this boy. Or like, I remember she would tell me, I remember one of the things she told me, she's like, don't shave your legs because once you start, they're gonna always keep growing back.
Yeah.
And it's true.
Yeah.
But
why?
What
am I supposed to do?
What was to do? And I was like, well, why? Like, what do you do? Because I see you do, you know? And, like, then one day I felt nervous because, first of all, I had underarm hair at the time. So I was like, well, I have to shake this because I want to wear TikTok. And, you know, and so I actually had one of my great roommates at the time help me shave. And that's something that you would most likely do with, like, an older sister or your mom. And I'm only child, so I was like, can you help me shave? Because I'm scared I'm gonna cut myself. And I don't learn. And so little things like that. And then one day I told her, I was like, Mom, by the way, I've been shaving. And she's like, oh my God, really? And I'm like, why are you so weird about it?
Why is that weird? Like, you're supposed to tell me about it.
And the thing is, she was like, well, I was afraid that she probably cut yourself afraid. I was like, well, maybe if you taught me, then maybe.
Do it with me.
Do it with me. And I was like, what's that? She was like, well, I didn't want to start you off too soon. I saw you as a baby.
What is too soon, though?
And I said,
like, you see me have hair under my hair. You don't let me go out like that.
But, you know, and it's like, again, generational things and also what how people view you. And of course, you know, I'm not mad at her, but it's just like, it's like, wow, like, maybe if you took the time to tell me, I wouldn't be asking a stranger to help me shave my arm. And what if they didn't know what to do to help cut me? You know, like, you know how much it hurts to cut yourself. So that's why I was nervous. But long story short, I agree. Like, maybe we have more conversation about things, taboo stuff about your periods. I have a story about that. Same thing. I experienced that. It was so funny. I was with my dad. Poor dad. He was like, oh, you're having your period. Your mom told me that this day would come. Okay. And I mean, he was freaking out. I was just like, Dad, I just need pads. Okay. I'm gonna go to the store. Bless his heart. But again, if we talked about it, it's like, it's not that weird that, you know, like, you know women have periods.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, why is it so taboo? Like, to
and
talk about
the Black community too.
I know, but it's like they indoctrinated us to not think about, like, not talk about things.
Right.
We weren't able to talk.
Yeah.
So then you know what I mean? We weren't able to express ourselves.
Yeah.
So now you
like, do what I say.
Yeah, and then you do what you see.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
and sometimes that big saying of, like, do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Like, that's how
it's like, can you lead by example though?
Yeah.
Ma'am, sir. you know? And that's something I'm working on. I think there's a big thing coming out now, or people who probably have kids. I don't have kids yet. And so pretty much there's this big thing about adulting, parenting really differently. I follow some accounts of like, I'm not gonna discipline my kids with force, like a belt or something like maybe we used to, or I was going that way. I'm okay, because my parents had very distinguished things. Like, I hear that people really got abused. Yeah. That was not my case. Yeah. Like, my parents were I could only get spanked in my butt. There was no punching of my face or anything around. No. So it was very like, you knew why you were getting beaten. But there are people that go too far, and I agree, you should watch that. But this parent was saying, I want to reinforce giving my child more of a like expressive emotion. So like, instead of me resorting to that, 'cause apparently that was a lazy way, it was like, let me sit you down and say, baby girl, baby boy, this is not okay. Why is that not okay? Because you know, most times they be like, stop crying, and they don't explain. Yeah. You just yell like, stop crying before I give you something to cry about. That doesn't make sense. I'm crying already. Yeah. Sir, ma'am, like, what do you mean? I'm gonna cry more now because I don't know what's going on. And it's like, what do you mean give me more something to cry about? I'm already crying. Exactly. So it's those things of like dismantling those things, and that's where it started. So that I think is a cool introspective way of looking at things.
Yeah, it's a very good introspective way of looking at it. I agree. I mean, I just feel like not everything is meant to be on somebody.
Yeah, you know, like, it doesn't have to be physical punishment.
Yeah, and I feel like even now, me being in a relationship and me like, you know, if I get angry about something, I realize like he's more open to like, we're gonna talk about this and sit down and talk about it.
That's beautiful.
And that's like, for me,
most men are not.
Yeah, and I mean, he's not, like, in some ways he's not the best communicator, and I help him with that. But like, for me, he helps me with, we're gonna talk about this. Yeah. You know, until it's finished, we're gonna talk about it.
I love that.
Talk about it, because like, if we don't talk about it, then it's just gonna be the issues that we saw our parents do. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I feel like a lot of us, we don't talk, and like, we don't feel safe to talk or have a safe space to talk about things. And
we've been hurt before. And like, oh, I'm not doing that again. It's like, no, please heal. Please heal. Yeah. Because this is gonna come up again. It is. That's what I learned with therapy. Like, you don't resolve things, it's gonna come up in other ways and be a bigger pain in the ass or sore, you know, because you didn't really resolve the real issue, which was at the root when it was very small. Now it's huge and gigantic. It's like, actually, at the end of the day, this ties back to you not being hurt when you're a child. True. Which has nothing to do with me as your partner to figure it out, but this is why it would be helpful if you went to therapy and handled yourself. Yeah. Just like I would.
Because you can't talk to your partner about everything. Like, you can talk to your partner about everything, but your partner can't fix everything for you.
And that's why we have licensed professionals. I think that's another thing. You know those jokes saying like, oh God, here come another, all the black boys or all black men do is go talk with their friends and create another podcast. Yeah. And really it's just them spewing their own traumas and all that stuff I did, which is fine. I'm not gonna shame that. I think that is fine. But I think some of these could be done in a therapy session. Really. Because some of the things y'all are putting out there is hurting other people. It's BS and it's hurting other people. Because now you're imploring other men like, I felt this way too. Yeah. When I was trying to express myself,
AKA Kevin Smith.
Girl, yes, like, yes. I could hear both sides. Trust and believe. I could hear both sides of like, I do know he was getting on men as well as women. However, there's a way to do it to uplift as well. Half the time he was bashing
black women mostly. Exactly. But I'm not even gonna talk about him like that. We ain't
going to.
Yeah.
R.I.P. I guess. I mean.
So I want to talk to you about, like, I saw one of your posts with you dancing.
Oh, okay.
I want to talk about that because I feel like women, they don't really get in touch with their body.
Okay, yes.
And like, I want to talk to y'all about doing that because dancing is healing, and we need to talk about that.
Yeah. So let's get into that. Okay. So, like, why dance?
So, what was it for you? Why did you do that type of dancing?
Right. So, backstory, I've been dancing since I was 3 years old. So, not like that though. More so, like ballet, trained, went to Nationality Dance Academy. Amazing experiences. Got to afford the opportunity to dance around the country too, like, you know, and learn different dances from different countries. Chinese ballet, following these dancing, all this great stuff. So I always loved dancing. But I did know that the one thing I didn't do as much was the more explicit dancing, because obviously my parents were like, yeah, no. But as I got older and moved to Atlanta, of course, there's so much more opportunities to do. And I was like, I'm gonna do a dancing class. And when I tell you, it's so empowering, it is, because as women, we are told so much to like be sexy, but don't be too sexy, that's too dark. Or embrace your sensuality, but it's like there's no way to embrace my sensuality because I've been taught to maybe cover up more, do something that's opposite of what you want me to do. And so that's why I did the class. And I started doing them because dancing was my way of getting away from the world, honestly, in any type of form, not just that one, just in general, and expressing myself. So that's why I did it. And I like feeling sexy. I mean, I think that's part of like me maturing to the woman I am. If you ask myself a few years ago, I was nervous to post, and I remember having a conversation with my mom about it. She was like, well, why are you posting? I said, Mom, this is the thing. So I went to Mount Holyoke, all college. I was like, you need to be empowered, empowered over your body. And if anyone's gonna take this image of me and run with it, let them, because they're not for me, And then of course, I have jobs I have to worry about too. So there's certain levels to it, of course, but I think it's amazing. I encourage everyone to do it.
Yeah, I think that us getting in touch with our body and like trying different things is very important.
Because it may not be for you.
Yeah,
it's okay.
like it doesn't even have to be dancing, but I'm just saying like dancing is healing, like whatever
movement.
Some type of movement. Like even for me, I was on my cycle, my period, like a couple of weeks ago, and like I was going for walks. Like when I'm on my period, sometimes it really hurts. So I'm like, I was just going on a walk, and I was like, I can feel my womb moving. Wow. And I was like, that's good. Like I need to do that, and like, and you guys need to do yoni steams and stuff.
Oh, I heard of them. I haven't done one. No, I haven't.
We gotta do that. That's
really
important. Yeah, like
is it safe?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know.
They've been doing it for generations and generations. Like,
what, do you use it's like herbs or something?
It's herbs. Okay. Like you gotta use the right herbs.
Yeah, I will say. Okay.
Yeah, but you guys stay tuned for another video.
Yeah, I gotta stay tuned too. Cause I've heard about it at spas, but I just never.
Yeah, but it's not even just about spas. It's like if whatever you're putting in there, like we shouldn't be using tampons anymore here.
Yeah.
Like that's not good for us. Like anything you have to put in there is not good. And like any energy you might be carrying in your womb, or during your cycle, you're shedding, that your womb is shedding. So you want to heal whatever is in there or whatever's trying to come out. Like either before or after your cycle, you want to do the yoni steam. Okay. So like for me, that's why that last cycle was more difficult for me, because I haven't done one in a couple, like in like 2 months.
Oh, you noticed?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Like, my periods are much easier when I do it.
Okay, well shit, let me tap into that. We love a good easy period.
Yeah.
I remember when I was younger, my periods were like 3-4 days. I was like,
oh, that's good.
I hated it because I thought like they would never get longer, but I was like, now they got longer.
You don't need them. Huh? They don't need to be long.
They don't.
People don't know that. Like it's.
And it also comes down to what you eat too, girl.
Yeah. And also your period it's a fasting moment. Like that's when, like that's for me. I don't eat a lot when I'm on my cycle. Like I feel
everything. I'm like, the period made me do it. I ordered JJ.
Well, it's like when you have a lot of toxins in your body, right? It's like you do different things. Yeah. So that's why we have to cleanse our body and like look at different things like that.
That's so real. Yeah. Yeah. Listen to her on that. That's my expertise, y'all. Y'all see what I'm here for, okay? It's a cat. Yeah, I love that.
But yeah, I mean, like we're meant to cleanse our body in that time and like be more spiritual. That's why like you have more dreams or might get more insight during that time. Like that your cycle comes with the phases of the moon.
Really?
Yeah.
I gotta pay attention more. Because at this point I'm like, I go my period. Okay, cool. I'm not pregnant. I better just keep going. Does this affect any of my plans? Does this affect vacation? Yeah. And then I get through it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
but I should probably pay attention.
Like being in touch with ourselves. Yeah. Like being more aware.
It's all intersectional.
Intentional.
Some type of way.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that.
Well, thank you so much for coming.
Yes, y'all. Thank you for having me. It's great. Yeah. So cheers to this. Cheers. And cheers to successfulness and everything.
Thank you so much.
I love her energy, y'all. And I know you love her too, because that's why you're watching.
Alright, y'all. I love you. Thank you for watching this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. You guys already